Welcome back to my Commodore 64 Memories videos. Today we've got Ask Me Anything. I recently posted that when I reached 8,192 subscribers I would do an Ask Me Anything, so here we are. Why 8,192? Well, it's the same as 8 kilobytes. The first question, are you a banana? Well, no, I'm not. The next question, how do you get the energy to do so much? I don't think I do that much. I have 256 Commodore 64 videos, and a good number of retro expansion hardware videos as well, and a cartridge programming tool with cartridge hardware, and of course the audio hardware and the afterburner hardware for the Commodore 64. That's true. I mean, it's relatively quite a lot, but you know, I have quite a lot of free time. I'm mostly retired now, although I've been doing a little bit more contract work recently. But given that, you know, like I say, I've been mostly retired, I think, you know, it kind of like balances out. I don't think it's really that much considering how much free time I've had. The next question is, would be interested to get more info, how you came to professional game development. Way back in 1989, Zap issue 55, I think it all started for me when I was selling my own routines and making some extra money. I think a better version of this was published by Commodore Disk User back in the day as well, but I couldn't find a copy of that on archive.org. Then again, in Zap 64, issue number 89, in October 1992, one of my games, Tusari, was published on their cover tape, and that also enabled me to earn a bit of extra pocket money, which was always nice. And I think that really told me that I could make money writing computer games. Then in 1993 at the Acorn World Show in Wembley, my friend Alan and I were trying to sell our demo, or a game based on this demo, of what we called Wingstar, which was basically kind of like heavily inspired by Starwing on the Super Nintendo. You can see some of the graphics there in the and the main chip. So someone working for Argonaut Games, who also worked on Star Fox, noticed this demo and said, why don't you contact us for an interview? So that's what I did. I spent 10 years at Argonaut until they went bust and ran out of money and then couldn't pay anyone, but yes, worked on quite a lot of games. I think it was basically being in the right place at the right time, having the right technical demos to show and then being noticed, which was, you know, a bit of luck, but also quite hard work, being quite stubborn, wanting to go to computer shows. But it does show that, you know, going to computer shows would lead to full-time work. Very enjoyable full-time work as well. I really enjoyed my time at Argonaut. The people were amazing. The next question, plural. Okay, so are you still planning to make also Amiga videos? And no idea if Martin has the knowledge. So yes, I do intend to do more Amiga videos. Like my Commodore 64 video games series, I quite liked using ICU's C64 and C64 debugger to show the internal workings of the Commodore 64 and the games and the software written for it. The memory view, the sprites view, the debug graphics views and stuff like that. But I couldn't find a debugger for the Amiga until this message, which pointed me to this forum, which then pointed me towards this website, and then the website tool, which you can actually just click and run. It's a website thing. And it looks really excellent. I mean, if I didn't find this, I was thinking about adding the functionality to WinUAE or something. I'll try and remember to add links to all of these websites and everything else below. So yes, I think this tool would work really well with the kind of technical deep dive videos that I would like to do for the Amiga. On to the next question. I'm interested in getting into doing speedruns of Impossible Mission. Would you please investigate and explain the way the seed number influences room, robot, and puzzle placement? Wow, okay, so that is probably worth an entire deep technical dive video in itself, but I did do some initial investigations. So I noticed that there were two versions of the game that were officially released. The very first original version just doesn't have a title screen, it just goes straight into the game. It doesn't show this title screen at the beginning on the disc version anyway. And then the game, if you press restore, it then seems to randomize, but the always first loaded level seems to be almost exactly the same. And then I noticed that this post on Lemon64, which I'll be putting a link in the video description below, the person actually made quite a lot of effort into finding out where the random number generator was and improving it so that it was actually really random. So it depends on what you really intend for the speedruns. If you want the same game every single time to optimize your speedrun, basically, then try using an emulated version of the first release of the game, and in the emulator set it so that the disc doesn't have any wobble, that it uses the same RPM on the disc, or the tape version as well, and also that there's no auto start delay. So basically reduce all of the variation in the emulator and then just start it from the auto booting disc or tape image and then play it that way, and then you should have the same level over and over again. Or if you want to have the random version, then you might consider using that improved version that was shown on Lemon64, which has a more random number generator. What I might do in a deep technical dive video is have a look at the game and see if I can make the random number generator have like an entered seed, so that you can try and guarantee the same map generation at the beginning of a game by typing in the same number. I mean, that would be a really good topic of a video, right? Trying to understand that. So I did have a look at the game code for about 5 minutes and couldn't immediately find out where the random number generator seed was calculated. But if I altered how long it was going to take by altering the disk loading time, for example, then the game would have some variation in its room layout. So I think that's a good place to start looking, is probably the CIA timers, the time of day timer, or maybe an interrupt counting the number of frames, perhaps. We'll see. So yes, thank you for that. Good question, and it's going to lead into a good C64 Games deep technical dive video, I think. I think that was all of the questions. If I missed out a question that you posted on alternate social media, then I apologize, and just ping it to me again, and maybe I'll add it to this video or a follow-up video. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching my channel. It's been really great seeing it grow over the year, and I hope to catch you around next time. So yes, if you like these kind of technical deep dive videos, then please do consider liking or subscribing to this channel, or sending me a super thanks. They are always very much appreciated. Take care, have a great day, evening or night, wherever you are.